Hello again, this is Nomeo Gaming with another episode of Ostranauts Unraveled 1.0. On this one, I'm going to be going through part of the tutorial and kind of giving some tips and tricks of getting around the starting area and what to take a look at. I don't have the tutorial enabled, so it's just going to give me the goals, so if you're starting out the first time, I'd really suggest you take a look at the tutorial pop-ups. It'll give you a little more explanation of what each thing does. So I'm going to go ahead and first thing it wants us to do is unpause. We'll do that, and it wants us to highlight stuff. Look at our inventory, and then it wants us to get dressed. So you can actually shift click each item to pop it on. Saves a little time. And we want to turn on the power. Okay. If you don't turn on the power, you can't exit the room. So, all right. So let's check these bins for anything. Sometimes you can get a Mariner shirt, which actually is worth a couple thousand. So make sure and check these. Looks like we just got cheapo stuff, but it's always worth a check. It's just trash, so we'll leave it there. And it wants us to grab our pressure suit from in here and our rest of our stuff. Toolbox. And since we don't have any water, I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with what's in our sink here. Good to have some water on you just in case. Then we'll go ahead and exit the room. When you exit, it's going to give you this pop-up. Sometimes it will pop up a second time if you go really quickly, so you can just skip through, but a little bit of background on the K-Leg. First thing I'm going to go ahead and do is head down here to this airlock. You can turn on the power with a switch and go grab yourself a shiny used crowbar. Nothing really else down here, so we'll head back. One of the updates that they've done since I played last is fire, so they put fire extinguishers around the area in case, I assume, something gets lit on fire. I have hacking, so I'm going to go ahead and hack this room really quick. We can just check and see if there's anything useful. So to hack the room, you do access lock. You want to make sure nobody's around you, though. If they can have line of sight on you and they see you hacking the lock, they'll call the EOs on you. So you could ignore this. It'll say witnessed if you're actually going to be in trouble. So once this finishes, you can either lock or unlock. So we're unlocking, and we'll check out the room. We just want to check the containers and see if there's anything useful in here. That's just got trash. It's got more trash. And got a shirt. And we got some food. Oh, we got one more container. A shirt. And empty bottle. So we'll go ahead and fill up this empty bottle with some water from the sink. Because it can sell for a little bit. Nothing really else to do in there. We got somebody coming around the corner. If you can see, there's a shadow. Right when they come around the corner, they'll be able to see me, and I'll get in trouble for picking one of the locks. So we'll wait for them to go out of sight. Of course, they go there. So we'll ignore that part for now. We're going to grab this power cable. You can either install the power cable here to power the door to open it, or since we have the crowbar, we can just pry the door, which saves a little time. In here, there is a rack with a couple tools. We want to grab those for future use. The welder is the best thing we can get for now for building ships and attaching floors and stuff. You can also do the same thing up here. Pry the door, grab a couple more things. We have another conduit, and a couple of pill bottles. Let's see, drop anything that we don't need. We can put this guy in here and grab this guy. Okay, so go ahead and head back down this way. And I'm going to go ahead and sell some of this stuff that we got. Scrap kiosk is about the only thing we have access to sell at the beginning, since we don't have a license or anything. So we'll just go through our bag, sell the pills, and we don't really need the conduits right now, so we'll sell those. Well, I guess we can keep the conduits since we're going to expand our ship at some point. Sell these shirts. We don't need the shoes, so we'll sell those. And I think we had, yeah, sell the cigarettes and the shirt. Gives us almost 600 bucks. And now we have a bit more space too. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my pressure suit. We can use the cover overalls for some storage, so we'll keep that for that purpose for now. Over here in this room, these two containers can have stuff in them. Looks like there's actually a backpack down here, which is really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab stuff from these containers. We'll keep the components. We got a floor piece too. Put the backpack here for now. And got another welder, no battery though. License. Okay, it's expired license, so it doesn't really help us any. But yeah, that backpack is a good starting piece. Usually a couple $100 to have to buy them, so nothing crazy, but helpful. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this license, and we'll sell a couple more things. Probably sell this extra welder too. It's actually in better condition than our other one, so I'll just go ahead and swap the battery over. Okay, so now we're over $1,000. That's good, starting money. You could also hack into a couple of these other rooms. It's a little harder because there's so many people around this area. But there's a bunch of components in here. These two crates can be helpful. But for starters, we're going to go ahead and go over to the Old Emporium, Mescaform. Never sure how to pronounce that one. And we'll check out the area here. So there's more components in here you can grab, but the main thing I'm going to do is we're going to go talk to the fixer. Not sure why that guy has low oxygen. And then we're going to go check out this area, because this area can have some good things. I've actually found a license that has time on it still in there before, so there's always possibility of some good stuff in there. So we'll check that out first, as long as there's nobody around, which it looks like we should be okay. What's happening over there with the oxygen? Let's fill him back up. Alright. So we'll go ahead and hack this door just like the other one. Nobody's around, so we're fine. I kind of like to keep the view so that you don't see everything for this purpose, because if somebody can see you, you can see where somebody can visually see you from, at least for hacking locks. So we'll go ahead and grab some of these containers just for more storage. That's not a very good condition one. They're all about the same. We'll put this guy in here, this guy in there. And then these two don't really have anything in them, but down here, go ahead and check this room, which is usually the one that has the most stuff. Alright, so pants can be a good storage container. You can actually put them inside of backpacks, kind of nesting. It can get a little cumbersome to keep track of, but if you need space, it can help. Grab these and some more components. Oh, we got a pistol. That'll sell for a decent amount, but we can't sell it to anybody except for the license kiosk. Trash. Nothing there. More components. Can't remember if I checked the fridge. Nope. Alright. And I think this is empty by the look of it. Yep. This one. So it's got some stuff in it, so we can sell those. Alright. That's really weird. I don't know why the oxygen is so low in that room. Well, hopefully the fixer doesn't die. Alright, so looks like they might be getting back to normal, so we'll go ahead and start a conversation with the fixer. One of the things we chose at the beginning was beautiful. That allows us to start a conversation pretty easy with anybody. We can also do shared homeworld if we want, but we'll go ahead and go with the one we picked. Alright, so right now we're a stranger with them. We want to get to the point where we're a friend, otherwise they won't talk to us about trading. They have the black market, which will allow us to sell stuff later on for decent prices. So I'll just go through and do some chatting with them. I'll probably speed through this just so you guys don't have to, watch the entire process, but yeah. All right, at this point it shows that they see us as a friend, so we should be able to do the trading with them. I'm going to just double check. All right, so we're not here to really buy anything. I just wanted to get that done ahead of time since it's one of the things that I try to do before I leave, since we only have a certain amount of time on our tutorial license. So yeah, done with this area. We're going to head back and then see if we can sell anything else, and then get ready to depart. We do have a second crowbar, so I'm going to just get rid of that. Get rid of these. We can't sell the gun. Sell the pills. Got a couple shirts. Alright, that should give us some room, a little more money. So one other thing I want to do before we head out is I want to go ahead and buy a drill, since we didn't find one. It's a little expensive, but it's worth it. So if you put the drill in front of the screwdriver, it should allow for the screwdriver to, or the drill to take effect before the screwdriver. If you do not, it will take over and you'll have a slower time. Okay, so only thing left, I believe, is just to step on our ship. So let's go ahead and, oh, yep, roster. So we have to give ourselves permission to open airlocks. And that's in the roster, and then these are all of the permissions. If you hire a crew, there'll be the same kind of thing for each person. So one thing to keep in mind for the box sled is this is all open air. If you look, there's no air in here. So before we step on there, we're going to go ahead and put on our helmet. This makes it one of the more dangerous ships for new people, so just something to keep in mind. Now the ship does have oxygen. It will refill, but another problem is as you go between, it's going to lose a bit each time because it's going to vent the cabin. There isn't that much on the ship, so yeah. And at this point, we will go ahead and stop here, and I'll continue on in another episode. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments.